Hi guys. Ooh, we've got people visiting from Canada. We've got Kat joining us from France in her beautiful light everywhere around her, looking gorgeous as usual. We have people here
Oh,
from Qatar, Lebanon, Canada, and as always, I'm super excited to be here. I love this. I've got Waleed deciding in the last minute he's going to jump on, but I think he's just joking. He just wants to
uh,
get in on the business and get in on the presentation and get in on sharing this amazing opportunity that's become such a wonderful part of our lives, connecting us all around the world with friends
mm,
that we know we're going to keep forever, and an opportunity that just keeps getting better. So most of you know me, some of you don't, that are here logged in from abroad. My name is Dana. I'm 40 years old and I'm originally from Jordan. It's a beautiful country. If you've not been there, you should definitely go. I was introduced to Jeunesse around 10 months ago, just over 10 months. I'm in my 11th month now. So that was last year, end of May, beginning of June, really. And I am a strong believer that I actually beckoned Jeunesse into my life. I was looking for an opportunity to get back into the working field after 4 years of a sabbatical to start a family and raise my kids. And I was also looking for something to make me feel better and feel younger and to just get back into a life of vitality. And I really wanted to model youth and vitality to my kids. Kat's just gone off, and she's going to be rejoining us a little bit later to tell us about the skincare line. So yeah, as I was saying, so Jeunesse found me at a time where really I feel like I called it into my life. I wanted to get back to work. Um, I needed to get back to making an income after a 4 year break. I'm lucky that my husband could afford for me to raise our kids and sustain our lifestyle. But with our kids getting to school age, I think that window where starting to give the kids their proper foundation and then getting back to work was starting to get narrow. But I didn't want to do just anything. I, hand on heart, wanted to do something that added value into the world. I wanted to do something that could change other people's lives, change my life, and in Jeunesse, I found all of those. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to start our presentation. I know there's some things popping up on the chat. I'll pop in and check whether there's some questions or anything in a bit. So let's go ahead and share the screen, okay? Here we go. So, as I was saying, Jeunesse has really just become an integral part of our life. This is something that we live every day. To me, I see it as much as a job as it is a lifestyle. You dedicate yourself to these products because you know that you're getting the positive impact on your body. And as you do with anything else, you want to share it with the people around you and change their lives as well. And it really is just an integrated system. It's life and work and products and a whole host of positive change. And really, that's what we're all about. We're a mission-driven company, and we create positive impact in the world by helping people to look and feel young. And you'll see as we go through the presentation that this is in so many different ways, because of course the products are based on a youth enhancement system. So of course the youth enhancement system keeps you looking young if you're already young, sustains that, restores that, and maintains that in your later years. But not only that, giving yourself an opportunity to do something that's all about you, an opportunity to be your own boss and work for yourself, actually makes you feel young as well, because you just feel revitalized, energized, inspired. And I think all those things just have an amazing impact on your life. And now we also are a company who looks to unleash each other's full potential, unleash each other's to empower each other to unleash our full potential. And again, that's in so many ways, because in terms of the science, as you're going to hear later on, there are products that will just get your biorhythm to that perfect state, which also helps unleash your full potential physically and biologically, and also by giving you an opportunity to make a very handsome income in a very lucrative, profitable, and rewarding compensation plan. Now, these are the founders of Jeunesse. The more I read about them, the more I fall in love with these people. They are really, they've got their hearts in the right place. Randy Ray and Wendy Lewis and her son Scott Lewis, who's our visionary officer. Now, Randy Ray and Wendy Lewis were already a wealthy couple before they discovered Jeunesse, or before they created the Jeunesse company. Randy, at the age of 27, was an integral part of writing the software for the initial NASA launch sequence. So he wrote both the software and was part of installing the software and hardware systems for NASA that are still in use today, with obviously some minor alterations that happen throughout the years as technology progresses. But he was an integral part of that initial launch sequence and was a millionaire by the age of 30. And his wonderful wife, Wendy, they're partners in life and business. And they were also part of writing programs for other network marketing system or community commerce in terms of the softwares for them. So they've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. They've taken the best of the best and they put it into Jeunesse. Now, Randy was needing a knee operation because of his age and his weight. He was at high risk for a traditional operation. So they opted for an alternative option, which was in stem cell technology. Now, stem cell technology is just taking the world by storm. They can do so much with stem cells right now. Any of you out there that are moms would have been offered to save the stem cell of your children before they were born, because these stem cells can be used to create organs. They're being used to save lives. And at the end of the day, they actually extracted stem cells from Randy's own fat tissues. And actually, the only problem he had from that is they wanted him, he would have liked them to take more fat. So basically in the laboratory, they separate the stem cells from the fat cells and they re-injected it into his own body, and he literally grew back the kneecap. Now, during their time with the doctor in the clinic and their follow-ups, etc., they saw a serum that was in the doctor's clinic, and Wendy asked the doctor what it was for, and it was at the time mainly used for post-operative recovery, so recovering wounds, because what it did is it stimulated the stem cells to wake up from their dormancy and heal. And it was also used for other severe skin conditions such as acne and psoriasis, etc., etc. It had a very interesting side effect in that it also made the skin look younger. It got rid of wrinkles. And so Wendy started using the product on her face. And whenever she had the extra product, rather than washing her hands, she'd put it on her face and then she'd rub it on her hands. And after a few weeks of using it, she realized that the sunspots on her hands were gone. And now they knew what network marketing can do in terms of getting the product out there. They knew that this was a brilliant doctor that deserved the chance to be put on a global platform with his product, and the rest is history. They made an arrangement with the doctor. Dr. Nathan Newman is now one of our leading scientists on our advisory board, and he is the leading scientist in stem cell technology globally. And that's how Jeunesse started. So it started with one product that was about youth enhancement. It was stimulating stem cells to rejuvenate and giving a youthful appearance to the skin, etc., etc. You'll hear more about it a bit later. But you take that one product and you say, well, how do we create an entire line around that concept? And that's where the visionary officer comes in line. So they take a youth enhancement product and create a youth enhancement line of products that are supporting the function of the stem cell serum. So moving along. Now, this is something that I know is so close to so many people's heart. And I know for me, it definitely adds to why I love and respect the founders of our company, is that a big part of the money that's produced in Jeunesse actually goes to charities. We feed over 10 million children a year. And not only feed them, we help build them homes, build them schools, provide clean water to the villages. And I just think, I literally have goosebumps just thinking about it. It means so much to me to know that our efforts are actually being put into these amazing causes through the Jeunesse Foundation. I can't wait to get to go on one of the Jeunesse trips and be able to participate with my family and, just, as a role model, to our children, my husband and I, to show them basically what great deeds can be done when great minds are put together for a greater cause. So I love these projects. And actually, Randy did not grow up wealthy. He grew up underprivileged, and he had promised his mom at 14 that when he was older, he would make sure that not a child went hungry, that he could, as long as he could do something about it, he would. So I think it's just lovely. These are just, I'm not going to go over all the numbers because you guys can read the slides. These are just some of the numbers, some of the figures over the years to show you, you know, just some of the greater awards that we've won. Now, there's one particular number I want you to pay attention to, which is the 1 billion sales revenue by the time they got to 2015. So that's just in 6 years from conception. We started in 2009, 09, and the number 9, there were close associations with teams with people from the Far East, and the number 9 is a lucky number. It's a number that symbolizes longevity, and that's why it was there. So Jeunesse started in 2009, and by 2015 they reached the $1 million point. Now, before getting into business, I didn't realize how significant this was. This is major. This is up there with people like Facebook and Google. Microsoft took 12 years to make it to the $1 billion mark. Amazon was faster, was around 4, but I mean, we're still on par with people like, you know, or companies like eBay and Google and Facebook. So you could just imagine for a direct selling company, what that says about our ability to perform. And this is based on referrals. We don't use ads. So if you want that many people to purchase and make that kind of money and profit as a company, you'd have to create a brilliant product, because nobody's going to refer it if it isn't. And this is a figure that we reached based on referrals. So it's a huge testimony to how fantastic the products are. Wendy Lewis was voted twice as the most influential woman in direct selling, and we made it on a list. We are the only direct selling company on the top 500 Inc. list. In fact, we reached over 117 awards in 2016 alone. And these awards are for everything from our products to the way the distributors are treated, the fairness of the compensation plan, our you know, I said we don't spend money on advertising. They spend a minimum amount of money to create great marketing tools to help us do our business. And these awards are across the board. It's just fantastic. So proud to be able to announce this. Now, if you look at the sales since we started, it literally has doubled every single year, from 30 to 65, 127, 300, 418, and onwards. And the projections for the future continue with the same positive growth rate. And actually last year we reached 1.4 billion. So super cool, super proud, really amazing. And as I said, we've reached that figure all based on referrals and recommendations. This slide's a little bit old. I should really update it because we save this every time we do the webinar. It says 156 countries, but really we are now in 161 countries. Now, what does that really mean? It means that you instantly can have a global business, especially in the cities that we live in and environments that we live in. We are a global generation. You know, when we have our meetings, our live meetings on Monday nights, you go around the room asking, and you know, shoulder to shoulder, you know, hardly a few people are from the same country. We'll get a huge range within just a room, basically over 20, 25 different countries just right there. And the fact that we have a global platform means that you can recommend the products and the opportunity to people that you know all around the world, and your interest instantly global. Like I said, I've been in for less than a year, and I think Waleed and I, one of my partners, I think we counted over 10 countries that I already have businesses in, and similar to him. So that's really exciting, as you can imagine, not just for me, but honestly for you as well. It just means at the end of a click, this is what you need to run your business. We all have one of these. It's that easy. You know, you're telling people about how much you love it, about how to use the products, about how the opportunity works. You can tell them to log in on a Wednesday night and listen to us explain the opportunity to them, and it just takes off. And it also means how many people can you bless by connecting them to something that you love, which is exactly why we're here tonight. So you can see here the range of our products. I love the way this is laid out, actually. I'm really a holistic person. And I totally believe that beauty is from the inside out. And now, as science is beginning to prove it, so is aging. So is the aging process. It happens from the inside out. So if you really want that luminous glow, you really want that sense of vitality and youth and just joy in your life and just these amazing balanced biorhythms, this is something that is a solution for everybody. Now, in that sense, on a health sense, that's fantastic. And also on a business sense, we're actually in 4 of the major industries in the world. Again, I'm not going to go through the figures. You can see them in front of you. I don't know where, when I move my screen, whether you guys can see just here on, if you see my little window there. Okay, so as you can see, there's over like nearly $28 billion a year spent on wellness, 262 on skincare, nearly 10 million on energy drinks. That's the only product that we don't have here in the UAE yet. So hopefully that'll be coming through municipality approvals soon, because I think that's going to be brilliant. I can't wait to have it. My husband actually rides endurance bikes in the desert, and he knows that this is something that will be really popular with people in most sports, really, in any sport. And there's $100 billion spent on weight management, which we also have a weight management system. Now, we've just entered one other huge industry, which is the cosmetic industry, with our new products that were just released in the US earlier this year, which is the Envy, which is a spray-on foundation and primer and bronzer that is actually good for the skin, which is so nice, because I'm not a big makeup wearer, but I know that people that do wear makeup, it's just a negative cycle, because you're putting it on to cover up the problems, but unfortunately the makeup itself is causing more problems because it's not allowing your skin to breathe. So this also has the growth factors in it, so it's actually a makeup that's good for your skin. So that's just lovely. We're going to go through this in a little bit more detail a little bit after a little bit later on in the presentation. So moving along, these are our brilliant doctors, each and every one of them in their own rights, a master in their field. And actually, I have a background in science, which I didn't mention. I studied sciences at McGill University in Montreal. So one of the things that, to me, that really excites me about Jeunesse is that, we don't spend money on advertising. And that gives us a huge competitive edge over other people working in the anti-aging or in the youth enhancement industries, or youth maintenance industries even, is that we can take the money that's usually spent on ads and spend it on research and development. So we get the best of the best of the best in the world. And it's amazing. We're talking about doctors that have been nominated for Nobel Prizes, leading scientists in their industries, people who their whole passion is to study anti-aging, and they now have the budgets to also unleash their own potential with the products that they can produce for us. And these doctors are accessible from your back office. You can send messages directly to them, and you will get responses either from them in person, more likely from their teams, but after they've been consulted to give you an answer appropriate to what it is that you need to know about our products, or anything really that you need to know about, mainly the products, obviously, for the science. So I'd love to introduce a woman who is so just an absolute darling. She is actually, even in this image, just like a flood of positive light and energy, a beautiful person. And I'm going to back up, Kat, and let you speak about yourself. Even just looking at you on the screen right now is making me miss you like crazy. So it's great to have you here again. I'm so happy to be here with you today and to have you with the webinar.
It's all my pleasure, I can tell you. So thank you for that wonderful introduction. Can you can see me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Just wanted to check. Okay, so Dana, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here, and you've been an inspiration ever since I joined Jeunesse, which was about 5 months ago now, maybe 6 months ago. And I'm just so blessed to be here today to present to you this wonderful Luminesse range, which is our anti-aging range of skincare, which is just fantastic. So just to introduce myself, my name's Catherine and I'm 47 years old. And as I said, I discovered Jeunesse myself as destiny would have it, or luck, or whatever you want to call it, when my husband was relocated to France. We were living in Dubai, loving it, and I was working, and he was relocated, and we had to leave. So we were faced with a difficult decision. Should I go with him, or should I stay in my job that I've been working with the same company for about 16 years, on and off around the world, company that I love, but of course I love him more. So I wanted to, it was a no-brainer. I was always going to come to France with him. So it meant moving somewhere without a job, and I can always work freelance. I'm very lucky in that respect. I work in education, so my special areas, they can apply anywhere pretty much. And but on my last couple of days at work, one of my friends and colleagues said to me, "Hey, so what are you going to do when you get to France?" And I didn't really have an answer. I'm quite impetuous in my way of living, I guess, and I just off to see what happens. And anyway, she told me about Jeunesse, and without a second's thought, well, that's not really true. I was instantly intrigued just by what she told me, and went along to the first presentation in Dubai, and I was totally drawn in by it, and I signed immediately, met all the team, who've been amazing and wonderful, and despite the fact that we've moved to France, they're there, they're supportive all the time, and it's just been an incredible last 6 months. It's been an amazing journey. So I'm here with you to share the skincare range, as I said, the anti-aging creams, which are just fantastic. So when I first joined, I was so excited because I've always been into sports, health, fitness. I'm a yoga instructor in my spare time. And so when I heard that there were all these things, not just the skincare range, I'm just so excited to try all the different products. And what we did as we were moving was we bought a big package. We tried all the different products. And of course, I was the one that was trying out the Luminous range. So there's so much to say about it. I've never sold anything in my life. I hadn't even heard of network marketing. And very, very quickly, I realized actually I had heard of network marketing. I just didn't realize what it was. There are so many household names that we all know. And Jeunesse is going to be one of them pretty soon, if it's not already, because the products are just so amazing. So for the first month after I joined, as I said, we were moving, etc. So I was using the products, and that totally convinced me that this is what I wanted to do, because you need to love the products, I think, in order to sell them. Certainly I wasn't prepared to try selling something that I'm not, or be involved in something that I'm not passionate about. So it was an absolute no-brainer after even just a couple of days, I think, trying them. But it's sometimes slightly longer term that you see the effects of some of the products, because they really are, they're repairing your skin, the Luminous range at least. It's repairing your skin, it's protecting your skin, it's repairing any damage. And so that's what's so special about this range. So to start off with, you've got the slide in front of you. There's different packaging in the UAE, in the Middle East, and where I am here in France. So we've got the same packaging as is on the slide. And I'll show you first the main product, which is the serum, and this whole range really is the flagship of the whole Jeunesse, all of the products. Why? Because it was all grown from this one serum. So as Dana was telling you, the serum was discovered by Nathan Newman. Well, he created it, sorry. And it's all gone from there. So what is special about this serum? I mean, we've all used different ranges of products. I myself had my own favorite type of product for over 10 years. And I didn't think I wanted to change. In fact, I really didn't. I was very happy with my oral skincare range. But since trying this, I feel like I'm an advertisement, which I'm not at all. I'm just sharing my experience. Yes, so the difference is that this really does repair. So what does the serum do and how does it work? Normally we would play you a video to show how stem cell technology works in cosmetics and in the beauty industry and in skincare. And it's all related to stem cells and what we call growth factors. Now, Nathan Newman found out that cells repair themselves through communication, and the communication is through growth factors. So how does this impact on us? Well, our products, the serum, for example, has over 200 growth factors, which means that automatically when you're wearing it, when you put it on, when you rub it on, your cells are being communicated to, and whatever's wrong with it, whether it's a wrinkle, whether it's a stretch mark even, or a sunburn, or anything at all, it will repair it. And maybe not 100%, but it's there to replenish and restore a youthful look, which is why we call our system the Youth Enhancement System. So this has been recommended by so many different people that I've spoken to, dermatologists, gynecologists, in fact, for the stretch marks, for example. Any skin problem that you have, you can also, if you Google, you'll see lots and lots of images. It also helps with eczema. It helps correct so many different skin issues. So, you know, everybody's different. Each of our skin is different, so you don't know how it's going to affect your skin. And with mine, the reason I definitely wanted to use these products, I have very dry skin, yet it really does help with moisturizing it, hydrating it, keeping it as healthy as it possibly can be. So it really is just amazing. You basically just have to try it. And if after a month you find that you love it as much as we do, I'm sure you won't want to go back. So all of the other products are there to maximize the effect of the serum. So they all work in conjunction with each other, synergetically, if you like. So for example, you've got the day cream, which is, again, it's here. It has a protective factor of 30, so it protects you against any more sun damage. At the same time, it repairs, it protects against free radicals, and it's a light cream. And what's wonderful about this skincare range is that it's good for any skin type. I found this a bit bizarre myself at first, because I've always had to go for the dry skin or the very dry skin ranges. But no, this actually really does work for any skincare, any skin type. So again, you have to try it. And why does it work with every skin type? Because of the reparatory factors that it has in it. So that's why. So that's the day cream, which is fantastic. It's light, but it protects and it hydrates and it moisturizes. The night cream is slightly heavier, but not too heavy. So if you have oily skin, don't worry, it'll be fine as well. And this one has vitamins and antioxidants, so that during the night while you're sleeping and resting, your skin is rejuvenated. We also have, as you can see from the slide before, the Brightener, which is a new product that came out in November, which just gives you a youthful, healthy glow, but also it has reparatory qualities. We've got the body cream, which I absolutely adore. Who thought that a body cream could actually restore, but it really does. It's fantastic. And we've got an amazing lifting mask, which is another favorite of mine, because you put it on and it really does lift. And that's pretty much it. So we've got the whole range. It's fantastic. Try it and I'm sure you won't regret it. And finally, on the screen you've got here, you can see Dana, in fact, in the left, top left-hand corner. And I don't know how many, she can tell you in a couple of minutes when I'm finished, the difference, the time difference between those two pictures. You can see how her skin has just a youthful glow, less wrinkles, just amazing. And then there at the bottom, a colleague of ours there had a sun blotch, and the serum has got rid of that. Another friend of ours, a colleague in Dubai, she had pigmentation problems, and again, the serum has corrected that. And yet another colleague who was suffering from a skin problem, and look what it's done. So honestly, what you do whenever you buy these products is take a before and after picture, just to show yourself, and eventually share it with your friends and colleagues, so you can see the difference. And that's it for the skincare range. Just try it, and I'm sure you'll love it. The next thing that I'd like to present, which is a very fun product. It's less. Well, I should say it's more cosmetic than the other range, than the Luminous range. It's a fun product because it lasts for about 5 to 8 hours. Maybe in the UAE with the heat, or the Middle East, wherever you happen to be, because I can see there's people from all over. So depending where you are, if it's humid, it might last a little bit less. But in Europe here, in drier environments, it can last for up to 8 hours. So you dab it on. Better if you watch the video of how to apply it, because you need to apply it correctly so that it works to its maximum. You put it on, and it gets rid of your wrinkles. I mean, it really does. That sounds crazy, but it's true. So you just have to try it. It comes in 2 different packaging. I think in the UAE or the Middle East, are still using these ones. And here we've got these ones, so you can take off the top and use them again as well. They come in a lovely little box with 25 in them in Europe, different over there. And it really is. Watch the video on YouTube, Instantly Ageless, and it really is what it says it is. It gives you a lift, it gets rid of the bags under your eyes, it gets rid of wrinkles on your forehead, on the sides of everything. Like I said, you dab it on, leave it 2 minutes, don't make any expressions for 2 minutes, and you're ready to go to a party or to a meeting or whatever you want to do. So that's me. Let me pass you back to Dana.
Hey, Kat, great. And we're doing great with our time. So I'd love if you stay with us, because maybe at the end we can have a little bit of a chat about some of the things that have inspired us, about stuff that we've learned. So maybe we'll close together at the end and see if anybody has any questions. And sometimes it is just fun to have a little bit of a chat and a hangout to talk about, greatest moments or challenges that we've had in Jeunesse. But you did a lovely job. So thank you so much for explaining the skincare line for us. And I'll
try not to talk too much. I love it so much.
You're lovely. You're lovely. Beautiful job. Thank you so much for teaching us all.
Thank you. I look forward to the rest of your talk.
Well done. So just moving now on from the skincare range into the nutritional line. So again, as I said earlier, one of the things that I love about Jeunesse is that we're talking about tackling the aging process, not just looking at the consequences or symptoms of aging, but actually looking at the source of aging. Now, there's this concept that basically, like anything in science, there's debate, but generally speaking, most leading scientists in the world acknowledge that one of the leading causes of premature aging is free radicals. Now, there are 2 things that I want to explain. One of them is that there's a difference. That was my husband whistling in the background, if you heard him. There's a difference between your calendar age, which is, calculated from the date of your birth on your birth certificate, and your cellular age. So literally Walid and I had the pleasure of, Walid is a close partner and friend in Jeunesse, and we had the honor of meeting a gentleman who is 73 years old, and he looked like he was hardly in his late 50s or 60s. He just lives younger. And now the things that cause aging there are so many other factors, including stress and joy and how you live your life and how generally happy you are. Now, we can't do that much about those things, but when your biorhythms are enhanced, the chances of how you face and tackle your world actually are improved. Now, back to the reserve and our chat about free radicals. So just to give you an analogy, in brief, all of your molecules and atoms and electrons, etc., are paired in positives and negatives, and everything wants to be paired. It's a natural tendency. So we've got free radicals. Free radicals are basically elements that are not paired, and now you get free radicals from pollution. Your plastic water bottle would be bleeding free radicals. Sometimes certain parts of digestion causes a free radical to be on the exit side of a chemical reaction, and these free radicals are trying to pair. So they go through your body trying to bombard, dislodge other cells to literally take their place. And while they're doing that, they're literally bombarding these other cells and causing damage to your cells. And what an antioxidant does is it actually, or a free radical scavenger, it takes these free radicals and flushes them out of your body. So that's what we're doing. All these superfruits that you hear about that are antioxidants, that's literally what we're talking about. Same as an apple will oxidize or iron will oxidize. Unfortunately, the same process occurs in our body. And we actually do have natural antioxidants, but there are just not enough. And that's why we have to eat food, right? And I'm an agricultural scientist. In an ideal world, I would never want to necessarily get what I need not from the earth, but the truth is we all eat out of season, and most of us do not live on a farm. So our food is shipped from so far away that it might look like an awesome nutritious fruit, but it actually doesn't have that much nutrition in it. And that's the truth. It's the sad truth. Even if it's organic, unless you live in the same country as that organic farm, it's shipped and harvested far away. It's gassed with ethylene on its way over to you to make it look like a ripe fruit, but it isn't. They can actually preserve antique varieties of fruit. And a close friend in Jeunesse actually had told me once that you would have to eat 17 modern apples to get the same amount of nutrition you would have got in an antique fruit. So you can imagine. Long story short, in our product reserve are 9 extremely powerful antioxidants that are in a gel format, which is very bioavailable, which basically means your body sucks it up, loves it up, and takes it straight to where it's useful, into your cells, to clear those free radicals. And those ingredients are aloe vera, acai, green tea, pomegranate, red cherry, blueberries, the skin of the red cherries, and it's basically 9 of the most lush, powerful superfruits, an A-list of superfruits that flush out your body. Now, what are the benefits? The benefits of Reserve is that it gives you a huge immune system boost. So if your body's feeling down, you're feeling run down, feeling like you're coming down with something, Reserve will just basically give you that immune system boost that you need. It's an energy boost. It gives you tons of energy. It mimics something called like the fat burning cycle, which basically improves your digestion in brief, and generally an all good, feel good, delicious, not to mention superfruit gel pack that you can take twice a day, once or twice a day, to just keep your body cleansed. And again, unless you're cleansed from the inside, nothing you do on the outside is gonna, it does improve it, but it does it so much better if it's from the inside. And again, if you have toxins in your body and you're not flushing them, you've got 3 different ways to cleanse that. It's either through your kidneys, which is a huge filter, and your lungs, which filters out impurities in the air, and actually your skin. So if you don't flush it out of your body, unfortunately, it's going to be expressed through your skin. And symptoms like aging and acne and other skin diseases are caused by having toxins, basically, that are just coming through our skin as opposed to flushing out. So clean from the inside out. It's like having an oil change. You would never have a car for years on end without changing the oil. You've got to treat your body with at least as much respect as you would your automobile. And my husband will love that analogy because he's a mechanical engineer, a helicopter engineer. He loves everything mechanical. He'll just be laughing, smiling at me right now that I'm giving an analogy of calling my body a car. So moving along. Now these are, I kind of want to call every product of Jeunesse my favorite product because it's the truth. I'm literally a product of the products. I see it as much as it's a dedication to myself and honoring my body and honoring that I'm worth taking care of. I see it also as part of my dedication to my role as a brand ambassador and a distributor for Jeunesse, is that I use everything with loyalty. Now, these products, there's so much research that went into this. Now, when you're talking about this as a business opportunity, we would never be able to afford to actually come up with the research that creates these products. They're brilliant. Millions of dollars have gone and invested into studying exactly what each cell needs to perfect its biorhythms, and years on end have gone into it. There's been 2 Nobel Prize nominations behind it by the brilliant Dr. Vincent Giampapa, who is actually, believe it or not, also researching with Stephen Hawkins, and he is behind some of the supplements that are being used by the NASA astronauts. Now, there are so many great ingredients in the AM/PM. I love that you had your products with you, Kat. I have mine right around the corner in the kitchen. I'd have to leave you staring at my cupboard for a little bit if I was going to go get it. But if you peeled open the label, you'd realize there are so many ingredients that we had to create a double label just to fit them in. We're talking about vitamins, antioxidants, trace elements, free radical scavengers, DNA repair, probiotic enzymes, you name it, we've got it. So they've taken your daily allowance for what the perfect food for your cell is. So it's actually called a nutrigenetic. It feeds you on a genetic level. And they've split it into the AM and to the PM. Now, what's the difference is that the AM has amazing, powerful things for your mind and to make you feel alert without the harmful effect of caffeine. So that's things like garcinia, which really keeps you awake and present and in the room and without that fogginess in your head. And ginkgo biloba, which is brilliant for your memory. And actually, that's a huge thing for me. I was getting so forgetful, and now I just have clarity of mind and presence. And as I said, same doses of everything else split into 2, AM, PM, and just a few little additions for the morning and a few little things for the night, which puts you into your deep, deep sleep, which is where we do all our repair work. And that's where really we're still talking about an anti-aging product, because without getting into that deep sleep, you're not doing that repair and rejuvenation that your body needs to wake up and be ready to tackle a brand new day. So as you can tell, AM in the morning, PM in the evening. Brilliant products. Absolutely adore these products. Finity is just something that is so cutting edge, so phenomenal. At some point, this was a product that was only really accessible by dignitaries and people in high places in the government, and is only really something that we can get our hands on now because of network marketing, that it's affordable. And the science behind Finity did win a Nobel Prize. Now you can, search for this woman named Elizabeth Blackburn. Now she's the one who actually invented or came up with the discovery, the formula for Finity. And what they did is they had looked into, there's something at the end of your DNA which protects the information. It's called the telomere. So your DNA is this perfect, brilliant, bright source of information that creates every single cell in your body. And at the end of it, there's a telomere. And as you get older, like after your 30s, these telomeres start to fray and the information starts to fade and bleed, which is why aging, not bleeding as in blood, but just information bleeding. So it fades. Let's just call it fading of information. Now, the fraying of the telomere, thousands of studies have proven that that's directly connected with why our DNA, like I have the same DNA I did when I was 20, but it's expressed slightly differently now because of the length of my telomeres. So they noticed that in the womb, in a fetus, the telomeres are growing, not shortening. And they thought if only we could get that process to happen in adults, we can reverse some of the signs of aging. And this is why Dr. Elizabeth actually did win a Nobel Prize for this discovery. And this is a patent formula exclusive to Jeunesse that is in our Finity products. You take this for 3 months on, 3 months off, only from the age of 30 and above, because it's not until your 30s that the information and the DNA telomere starts to split, and this product actually heals it. So I'm just going to do a quick time check. I think we're doing fine. Still under 10 to 9. So the last product before we get into the business opportunity is the Zen line. And the Zen is really a fat loss system. So it actually just really addresses why our body's metabolism has slowed down and why we're hoarding fat that we don't need. So it deals with the composition and balancing the composition between water, fat, and muscle, right? So our body has certain percentages depending on your gender and age range that these three things should be in. And you want to be mainly made of muscle because muscle is the largest consuming tissue. So it actually increases your metabolism when you have more muscle. You can afford to eat a little bit more liberally when you're made up of more muscle because your body is a furnace. It's just burning it. So in order to support you on your mission to reach that, we've got the Zen Shape, which has green tea, African mango, and a raspberry ketones. And it balances your, allows you to sense when you're full and satiated, and also releases fat. And in the protein shake and the amino acids are basically proteins and amino acids to help you build the muscle. And the protein shake can be used as a meal supplement, or if you're burning tons of calories and exercising, you can use it in between meals to keep your blood sugar levels stable so we don't have these troughs and peaks and these huge cravings. So getting straight into the opportunity. Now, the products are amazing, amazing, and just brilliant. They speak for themselves. Okay, the science is there. I've spent so much time researching them because I love the science behind the products, and I'm so proud to represent them. The founders are truly the heart of Jeunesse, you know, and the products are the legs. Without products, we're not going anywhere. Now, the mind and the brain, and really where the business is actually in your head. This is where the strategy and the thinking and the how we actually turn this into an opportunity that can be something really handsomely rewarding. And I'm sure we've all wondered, like, what if I had that extra money to be with my family? What if I had that extra money to get that home I've always dreamed of? And you know, a close friend, all of my family in Jeunesse are turning into a close friend, somebody that actually every time I hear him speak, he gains more and more of my respect. Jota Nouri, I don't know if you're with me, then hats off if you are. If not, then I'll make sure that you hear about this later. And he said to me that when he was introduced, or to us in as a group in an introduction, in a presentation, when he was introduced to network marketing, he was asked, like, what are your dreams? Like, do you remember them? What are your dreams? What are the big dreams? Not the day-to-day stuff. You know, we all want happiness, we all want love, we all want a balanced life, like the big dreams, you know. And he wrote down a list, and then the man that was with him said to him, so in your current position, doing what you do now, are you going to be able to make these dreams come true? Now, you've got to be honest with yourself, and we all live a decent life. We're all so fortunate, really, compared to so many others. We have so much to be grateful for and to be blessed for. But to me, my level of gratitude goes to expect greatness of my life and for those around me. And truth be told, most of us are living on a path that is contentment and we're doing well, but we might not be making those big dreams come true. And this is an opportunity that can help you do that. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how, you know. So here we are wondering, like, what if it's possible to actually make all those dreams come true? So there are 6 ways of making money in Jeunesse, or 6 ways of making income. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. I've already touched on this a bit, that really the most trusted way of advertising is word of mouth. Like, we do not spend money on the big billboards. We do not spend money on the big ads. We do not spend money on the endorsement. We use word of mouth. That is trust. These ads, they try and create trust through repetition. So you've seen something over and over and over again, and you assume because it's familiar that it's trusted and it's good, but actually all it is familiar. And really where real trust comes is actually the recommendations of people that you care, from people you care for and love. Just need a sip of water. So what we do is we try something, we love it, we share it, and it goes on and on and on. And as I said, the differences between the traditional marketing and the network marketing, you know, we do not spend millions of dollars on ads. We actually spend millions of dollars on research and development. And once that research is done, the rest of the money comes from to normal people like you and I. for promoting the products and being the walking testimony that we are, and actually building distribution channels for Jeunesse. That's what Jeunesse really wants us to do. If you move volume of product for Jeunesse, Jeunesse will move mountains for you. This company will love you for it, because that's all they want to do. They want to be able to be a household name without using ads, as opposed to with using the truth about products that we really love. Now, as I said, there are 6 different ways of making money with Jeunesse. The first one is super easy. You buy at a wholesale price and you sell at a retail price. The difference between that wholesale and retail is your profit. There's 2 different ways of doing this. You might purchase product yourself and at the wholesale, and then you might sell it at the retail. You've got cash in hand, or you can recommend your website to anybody in over 160 different countries in the world, and they'll purchase the product. It's shipped to them from the closest location to them. Usually gets to them between 2 to 4 working days, and the difference goes onto your back office and online. The person who invited you here will explain to you a little bit more about your back office and how it works. The company does all the heavy lifting of a traditional business. They take care of all the numbers and the figures for you. Super user-friendly interface. So they purchase and you make the profit. That's easy. Now, the second way is that Jeunesse wants to say thank you to you when you introduce somebody, and you only actually make that bonus on their very first order. Now, to me, this is actually, it's kind of nominal because it only happens once, but it can be significant depending on what the person's ordering. You're going to make between $25 to actually $250. This says $200. So between $25 to $250. And now, usually for me, I also just recommend the big products, big packages, because on that first purchase, we get an extra bonus. So really our first benefit is not just the retail wholesale, is actually that you're going to get 40% off to try these phenomenal products. And that 40% off can be used for you to purchase, or can be used for you to make profit. And above that 40% off, on your first order, when you enter, try everything that you think you want to represent, because that's where you're actually expanding your reachability to who you can sell to. And also, as somebody who's recommending entering the business, there's a benefit for us in that we get a thank you from Jeunesse, not from our business partners or prospects or friends or family that have joined us. We get this from Jeunesse. Jeunesse sends you a thank you to say, thanks, that's great. You've added an awesome new team member to the Jeunesse family. Now, the third way of making money in Jeunesse, or the third way of income in Jeunesse, is really exciting because this is a team effort. Now, the first 2 ways of making income are the active way. You're either selling or adding people to your team, and this is where residual income begins, right? So in general, as I said, our mission is to promote Jeunesse and move the volume of product. And when you reach each product, because we're in so many different countries, we can't have one currency to judge the efforts of everybody that's in Jeunesse. So what we do is we basically have an internal currency, which is called commissionable volume. And that's basically the volume at which you'll be paid commission for a product. When you and your team move a total of 900 points, you are going to be rewarded with $35. Now, in the beginning, this is a little bit slow because you're still growing your team and they're growing their team. But as this picks up pace, it gets so exciting. And the limit is 750 cycles a week, which is $26,250 a week, which is a limit that I think I could live with. I think that's an okay limit. There are more details, and don't worry, the person who invited you on the webinar will explain. But the way it works is we are a binary system. So you've got your first line of people that you add, and they're going to go to your right and to your left. And you can keep adding people, as many as you want, and they will go in chronological order. So they're placed depending on when they joined you and when they add people to their team. I think I've got another diagram that actually we don't have it on the webinar because it's a little bit complicated, but don't let this stress you. It's actually much easier than it may sound. And as I said, the person who invited you here will explain a little bit more. But as you and your team move volume, the general idea is as you and your team move volume of product for every 900 points, which is about every 15 products, you're rewarded $35. And as your teams get bigger and more volume of products move, this just starts ticking, 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 and and starts to pay off. Now, the leadership matching bonus is also one of the residual incomes, but it's not residual really, because that makes it sound like it doesn't take effort. It does take effort. And this is where actually you really need to become a leader. So as you grow your team, you become an executive and you get one person on your right and one person on your left. So two team members turns you into an executive, and it unlocks that team commission payment, right? Because initially all you can do is sell products and add people, but when you actually become an executive, you've just unlocked another way of earning money, which is the team commissions. As you add more to your team, you could either add 8 individuals, or you can add 4 people and teach those 4 people how to add 2. Now, to me, that's the most solid way to become a Jade, and I'll tell you why. Because when you become a Jade, you're making 20%, not of the first order bonus and not of the retail profit, but 20% of the cycle commissions of the first people that you've introduced, right? 20% of that. So if that person makes $100, you're making 25. If they make $500, you're making 100, right? But they're not going to be making those commissions until they start a team. So the best way to do it is to be a great leader and actually duplicate what you did. So you go in, get 2, and teach everybody that you got into your team with you how to also go get 2. And then you're making 20% of what they're doing in their continuing this cycle of duplication. And it goes onwards and onwards and onwards as you become a pearl, which means you either have 12 individuals or 8 people who've started their business the right way and went and became an executive, got their first 2 people in, and you make 15, 10, 5, 5, 5, up to 7 generations. So on the cycle commissions, it could be 50,000 generations down. On these leadership matching bonuses, it's up to 7 generations that you're paid. I'm currently really proud to be one of the few pearls in the Unity Global team here in Dubai. We have a lot of pearls in Europe and elsewhere in the world, in Canada and North America and Australia. But our teams are growing, and we're just basically creating more and more leaders here in the UAE. And I think, we're, later on, you're making tons of lifestyle rewards, amazing trips that are paid for, so many opportunities to travel the world. And really, this is more ways that you can make an income with Jeunesse. So quick tips on how to get started. Choose your package, right? Decide, like, what do I want to try? And also, as a business owner, because you're going to become your own business owner, what do I want to represent? If I decided only to use the skincare, it's kind of limiting my market to some of the women in my age, some of the men that are interested in skincare, maybe to the makeup artists. But if I try the nutritional range, first of all, it's benefiting me, but it also opens me up to other industries of people that might be interested in putting their shoulder to shoulder with me and joining my team and working with me towards the same goals. So my total recommendation, don't go below a pearl. Start with a pearl, because then you're getting one of everything. So that's really the least that you should do, is try everything. So you can, when somebody says, well, do you like the reserve? You can't say, well, I don't know, I haven't used it. You need to actually represent all the products, and they're all lush and so beneficial. So choose your products, join the auto-ship program. It's a no-brainer. You're going to use 1 product a month, right? And in order to keep your points in Jeunesse, which is a fantastic way to make money, you've got to keep your auto-ship on. You have to use that 1 product a month. It's not a huge commitment, yeah? Without that, you're only entitled to selling and adding to your team. Your points will flash, your CV points, and you won't be able to make the cycle commission. So if you're committed to the business, commit to 1 product a month. It's actually quite easy to use or sell 1 product a month, so not a big commitment. Use the products. Step 3, use the products. You want to become a testimony of the products. I don't even need to advertise my results. People can see it. I'm walking around my children's school and people are asking me what I've done. It's really fantastic. And I don't say that to show off. I say that to say thank you to Jeunesse. It's really changed things for me tremendously in terms of how I, it might feel superficial how we feel about how we look, but this is how I feel about myself in general, giving me tons of confidence and just a sense of vitality and youth. And start sharing the products. So, choose your packet, get on the auto ship, use the products, get your own results, take photos, as Catherine was saying, share the products, and really just start anew tomorrow. And Kat, I'd love for you to come back on, and maybe, we can stop sharing the screen and see if there's been any questions come up. So yeah, I don't know if you want to say anything in closing, Catherine, about Jeunesse.
I just wanted to say that each time I listen to one of your webinars and how you describe all the products, it's just wonderful. And because I learn something new each and every time. So I'm here every single week listening to what you're saying, and it's just fantastic. So thank you for that. It's
Thank you. That's really sweet.
The products get better and better and better. Just when I thought I knew everything there was to know, no, there's something more. So yeah, nothing at all. The products are wonderful. As you said, I've actually tried all of them, and I'm constantly using all of them except the Zen, which I haven't tried yet. I've got my Nevo right here because I have it here, and what am I going to do if I can't have it? Because it gives me the energy I need to get through the day. Come 3 o'clock, I know that I need a reserve and I need a Nevo every single day.
I can't wait to get the Nevo here. I'm very excited. So we've got a few things on the comments, and we've got a little bit of a time for some Q&A and a catch up. First of all, I've got hellos from Egypt. I forgot to mention them. I'm so excited that you've logged in to listen to us from Egypt, Neda. So that's really brilliant to have us here with us. So hello to Neda from Egypt. And I've got a question come in about from Hikma about preferred customer. Now, that's a great point. Thank you, Hikma, for asking, actually, because we do skip over that. Now, on your opening page, when you go to your website, up on the top left, you see where it says become a member. Just beside that, there's another option to become a preferred customer. Now, the preferred customer, if you've got friends or family who are interested in the product and you want to give them a discount, everybody loves a discount, tell them they can sign up as a preferred customer. The great thing is that they get a spot on your tree, which means that should they decide to upgrade to a distributor, they can, and they'll get around 10 to 12% discount. Depends on the product, can be up to a 15% discount. So I don't know if you know this, Kat, but people can sign up as preferred customers. Now there's so as I said, to the question, answering the question, it's very easy to do. The sign up is much less complicated than the sign up to become a member or a distributor. They do need to choose a URL. They're going to get their own website where they can go and they can order at the cheaper price. Now, you've got your auto ship month, and within that month, for the first 2 preferred customers that you get, you are given 2 free serums. Now, you need to go to your auto ship and make sure you click on entitled to free products, right? Entitled to free serum, and then go get your 2 preferred customer. And with your auto ship order, you'll be sent 2 free serums, which is great. So you make $50 and 2 free serums for the first 2 preferred customers within that month. Yeah, they need to order. They don't need to order every month. So Hikma's no, they don't need to order every month. They don't need to go on auto ship. They'll be entitled for that discount as a preferred customer for as long as they want. There's no conditions for maintaining the preferred customer. So just log on, and then every time they order, although the difference between the wholesale and the retail is less because they're getting a discount, you still get that. You'll still get the difference between the wholesale and the retail. So for the first 2, you get the 2 serums. For the next couple of preferred customers, you get samples. You'll get free samples. And Hikma, contact your sponsor or whoever invited you, and if they can't answer your question, please find me on Facebook, or if you're on one of the chat groups, just ask me and I'll send you a little bit more detail about the preferred customer. So I hope that answers your questions. I love doing the preferred customer. In the beginning, I did it tons, and then I started focusing on other stuff. But it is actually a good idea. And just the other day, I had a training session with an adorable new member in my Jeunesse family, and actually it reminded me that it's a good thing to do. So great. I hope that answers your question, Hikma. And just in closing, I want to thank you again, Kat, for being here. It's such a pleasure. You're welcome to come on anytime you want.
Thank you for having me. Like I said, the pleasure's all mine, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. This is my second webinar, so
it's very exciting. It's a very exciting way to connect people. And I just want to say, speak to the person who invited you here. They asked you to look into this opportunity because they love you, because they believe in you, because you're somebody that they would choose to work with, which is great. This is wonderful about Jeunesse, unlike in our corporate careers where we are working with people, some we may or may not get on with as well. You're actually choosing who you can work with. So somebody actually said, hey, I'd really love you to be part of my team. I want to work with you towards our goals, achieving our dreams in unison. And, you know, I joked about this the other day, but it's the truth. It's a risk-free opportunity. The worst case scenario is that you're going to consume your own products and you're going to look and feel great. That's the worst that could happen. So we're going to keep it short and sweet tonight. I hope this has been beneficial for everybody. And you're really sweet, Nada. You're great. Just saying thank you to both of us. And I've recorded this and I will upload it on YouTube and make sure that it's spread in the group so that you guys can share this with your projects or with your prospects and friends.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dana.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.